Communication with stakeholders and analysis of their requirements lead to a central mechanism: the product backlog. In objectiF RPM, this is where the planning workflow begins. This video will show you how it's done. Here are the necessary steps. After preparing the product backlog, release planning takes place. If several teams are involved, team planning follows. After that, each team plans its own sprints and organizes the work to be done. Step 1. The product owner prepares the product backlog for release planning. The mapping of relationships between requirements is as much a part of this process as the description and prioritization of requirements. Relationships between requirements are indicated with colors and symbols. With a click, we'll now navigate to the next step: release planning. This is a management decision. What should be built for the next release? Release 1 is currently underway, so we want to plan release 2. To do so, we'll select from the product backlog at the left a few defined and assessed requirements and drag them to the release 2 backlog at the right. We could also make references here, depending on our working method. Now another click brings us to the next step in the planning workflow: team planning. Whether together with team representatives or all team members, the question that needs to be answered here is, which team is doing what? In this step, we'll drag the requirements from the release backlog at the left into the team backlogs on the right, again using drag and drop. At this point, some Agile frameworks suggest working out requirements in detail with the teams. A good way to do this is refining the requirements together. For example, a feature requirement could be broken down into user stories. objectiF RPM adds visual cues to indicate refinement relationships. Sprint planning comes next, where teams decide what they're building in the next sprint. The same principle applies here. User stories are dragged from the team backlog at the left into the sprint backlog at the right. With just another click, teams can navigate to a corresponding Kanban board. And that's it. Everything's ready to go.